So there's been an interesting development going on with Jump recently, with the fact that they are pushing one series a lot very hardly in that magazine, and I think they're trying to make this their next ride or die series after Academia, Haikyuu, and One Piece, and a lot of people are starting to think this is a little bit of like shading going on, and that is Black Clover. Now, people know I review the chapters of Black Clover, but let me explain the story of what's going on and why Black Clover is kind of not getting that good limelight at the moment, because people are going, a little bit off and all that with the series. Basically, with the latest stuff coming up in Black Clover, they've announced that not only is it one, but two of the front cover issues in a row for Shonen Jumps. And if that doesn't scream, we want to push this really hard, we want this to be on the front of the magazine, then I don't know what else will. This is an example and all that, especially with, when you come to Jump magazines and all that, and it's how does a series get into the magazine's, front cover, all the time? One, if it's popular, and if the magazine wants to specifically push it exactly like that. We've seen that when they try to push Toriko really hard and all that in that magazine, alongside that they really want to push the anime and everything on there. They've done it as well with a bunch of other series. Academia, they did it at the start as well, and you look at Academia, is pretty popular right now. Same thing with Haikyuu, same thing with Assassination Classroom was on there for quite a while, and a bunch of other series on there. They've definitely known when to okay, we want to push something because it's popular and we want it on there and all that. At two, if it's an anniversary, definitely you normally get the anniversary regardless, I feel. So even if you're kind of a low tier manga, or even if you've done bad and all that, especially Kubo at that point was the only time you could ever get a front cover on that magazine was just having an anniversary at that point. But I think regardless, I think every manga is guaranteed at least one. Or the third option is you're starting out. You're generally just starting out, and it's you're always guaranteed the first cover. That's how it always has been for people, where it's oh, I started off a fresh new series, there you go, there's a cover. So there are the ways how you definitely get a front cover on the magazine, but you don't really see too often, especially on there, the popularity wise and all that, you never see a manga really be pushed on the front cover 2 times in a row. I believe the last time that happened was One Piece. One Piece had a front cover, and then they immediately had another front cover, because I think it was supposed to be promoting the movie coming out, Film Gold or something like that. And personally, I mean, I don't kind of oversaturations and say I'm glad at least if you're gonna push these massive titles and all that, if it's gonna be a selection of them, if it's gonna be One Piece, if it's gonna be Clover, Academia, Haikyuu at the time when it was still available, Assassination Classroom. I'm happy that it's now kind of becoming a selection. Obviously, Assassination Classroom has ended since then, but even still, I feel a little bit bad, bad for the series, where it's I'd be a massive hypocrite if I said I wasn't fine with this at all and all that. I was saying oh, Toriko had the same thing, and I was oh, what the fuck, they're pushing it really hard. And the same thing with a bunch of other series that they've done for it. I mean, it's still you can clearly see what they want to do. They want to push it. I mean, I enjoy Clover for what it is. I know a lot of people, it isn't up there their alley, and that's completely fine. But I think definitely you can see Jump wants to push it, and regardless of what, it is popular. In that magazine, it is getting in the top 5 rankings most of the times on that. It's ranking up there alongside with One Piece, alongside with the other stuff that they have in there, LA Academia, Haikyuu. It's ranking up there, and definitely I think this is the kind of thing they're putting their chips on, and I think they're doing a little bit more of the smarter decision with this one, mainly because they're testing out the waters with the Jump Festa OVA first. I think they just want to try it out, and I think they're kind of being a little bit cautious with this, where especially with Toriko and all that, they were no, all your chits, put it in there, all Toriko, push that, let's try to phase out Bleach, let's put it in there, let's let it become the new big three, and it kind of backfired in their face. And I think that's why Toriko is supposed to be ending sometime soon in the manga. It's not, you see it in the rankings, it just doesn't do it anymore, and no one really seems to have that much love for Toriko anymore in the Japanese market that much. So definitely I'm kind of curious about what people think about this in the comment section down below. I think I want to talk about it, and I feel I would have came out as a hypocrite if I didn't talk about where it's oh, apparently you're gonna praise Clover when it does it and all that, when it gets a bunch of colors and all that, but oh, you're gonna call out Toriko or anything else that oversaturates the manga. No, I think regardless of what, I think a manga should at least have one cover. I think it should have one cover a month. I think that's what that's the minimum you're supposed to have, because in a business, especially with multiple series like that, you should be pushing not just a small like section of series and all that. I think you should be trying to get your market out all of it. And yes, they are definitely trying with Clover. They're trying, you know, with Academia, Haikyuu, and like One Piece. They've got this 4 that they're really trying to work right now. And like Clover isn't like as popular as those other 3 and all that, but they're definitely trying to expand that market. I definitely think if they had about like 5 or even 6 series on there that they're mad like producing, like, you know, and just did that, then I would be a lot more happy with the magazine. But even still like that, I think 2 colors is a bit too much. Like if they're like in a row. I think that's kind of screaming, hey guys, really buy the volumes of my series, and it's doing well, but it's like, no, I think even that's a bit too much to me, and I'm kind of curious to see what people are thinking, like, because they're like, oh wow, like, you're a Clover hater panda. No, I still review the chapters, and I still enjoy it. It's just, I just wanted to call out, like, Jump's weird, like, things of, like, obvious, we get it, man, you want to sell those volumes. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, especially about how Jump's trying to treat Black Clover. They want to push it, they want it to be, like, the next, like, kind of Toriko and push it up there and make it something big. But I'm kind of curious to see what you guys in the comments down below think about that, and whether or not it's going to get the same treatment as Toriko, where if it fails, they're just going to let it burn and crash like Toriko did. So, very curious to see what you see, but that's all from me. Thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.